Okay, a little bit of Housewives of Potomac. Was the season 9, episode 4? Episode 4? Hopefully it is. Either way, season 9. Bunk beds and button heads. Let me see. This little car ride, we kind of, on the way to the house with everybody. It was, um, a little interesting. Everybody had their own little conversations going on. Of course, Karen is still deflecting on what she got going on, and Mia was just trying to get it out of her. Just wanted her to admit everything, or either way, Karen wasn't giving her too much. They did mention something about Stacy being boring, which we'll get to later. Um, Wendy in her car, they did mention, Karen and her situation with Giselle and whatnot, but Wendy was like, well, she ain't in our car, so I ain't gonna go there. But she did mention something about Jazzy. I don't know. I'm gonna call her Jazzy. It might be Jazzy. Either way, girl. Her and Wendy, they don't really know each other or nothing like that. So Wendy, I think, is just, want to feel her out and get to know her. She's just not too sure about her just yet, because it is Mia's friend. So, her and Mia, right. But, Jacqueline is in the other car, and she knows basically that Karen is upset about her because she knows what you said about her being drunk on the phone. So basically, we'll get to that too later. They all arrive to the house, and it is nice and beautiful. It's right on the lake. They go through the whole bed things, who gets what kind of room. There is a bunk beds room, which ends up going to Stacy and Kay, only because Mia was saying that they just got to be on the boot camp list right now, a little hazing, just because they're not really all the way in the group just yet. Let's throw them over there and they can work their way into the girlfriend, whatever, sisterly, whatever you want to call it. Either way, Mia set it up to where, they all got their own little butlers and things like that, chef, the whole works. So pretty much everybody is happy a little bit besides being in the bunk bed situation. When Stacy arrives later and she sees that, they kind of thought she was going to be a little bougie about it and be mad and upset. But nah, she actually took it in stride because it was just something that she hasn't really done before, when having girls girls trips and things like that. So a bunk bed she was excited for. So it's cool. It made Kay a little bit more relaxed about it, Let me see. Butler's boot camp. Jacqueline, in this moment, she realizes that she's sharing a room with Mia. And of course, this makes people kind of giggle and, ooh, I don't know why Wendy did that. Like, is it like because they think they're lesbians or something and they're going to be licking each other, or I don't know. Either way, who cares, right? But Jacqueline just wants to be her own girl. She doesn't want to be up under Mia's butt and be following her, and wants people to, know her that, I got my own business. I do my own thing. Like, I'm not her sidekick, which we'll kind of get into a little bit later because you want this separation, but yet you still up her ass. And I guess maybe to mention that Wendy got one of the best rooms because it is her birthday. Boo. So before Stacy actually arrives, they all kind of sitting at the kitchen table, I think it was. And I think they were just eating some little snacks and things like that, just waiting on the next thing. They just got there. And this is where, this Jacqueline and Mia sidekick situation, like it keeps coming up, right? Because Jazzy made a little joke, like, because she's Mia's friend in this moment. But, Jacqueline keeps bringing up moments like, well, I don't want to be the sidekick. I want to be my own person. So you can have the job if you want, but just always remember that I'm number one, So it's like that weird girl. What? Just be quiet, because it's like, why are you making it a competition now with you and old girl, basically. So since we're on Jacqueline, Karen took this time to just tell her, like, well, I know what you've been saying about, that I was calling you drunk and all that stuff or whatever. Like, girl, I was not drunk, and I don't appreciate you trying to put out that narrative about me and whoop de whoop de whoop. So of course, Jacqueline is on the defense because she was saying like it wasn't her intention to, you know, be a backstabbing heifer, as Karen would call her, or a flip flopper. She was just, I don't know, who knows, her being concerned and all this bullshit, and they didn't have all the facts, and she just didn't, whatever. But I guess she just, I don't know, Jacqueline. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, I'm so unsure with her. I feel like people are producing her, and she's just doing stuff. I know she wants to be her own person and things like that, but I don't know. Like, I'm not sure about you just yet. Like, you're doing these things on purpose, and then now you want to cry? Like, girl, you said it, and why would you say it? So that's all I'm saying. Like, don't cry now, which is what Karen said. Like, them tears ain't nothing to me, because they wouldn't be nothing to me either. You crying now after that's what you said about me, but you was so concerned and all this stuff. So why wouldn't you just come to me and say, oh, well, were you drunk on the phone, or whoop de whoop de whoop, or said something while you was on the phone to me, if you thought that if that was the case? So whatever. Karen and Stacy kind of pulled to the side a little bit. Kind of talking about her relationships and things like that, and the kids and the divorce, whoop de whoop. Her daughter doesn't really know yet about the divorce, and they're just gonna wait till it gets final before she tells, reveal all those things, and just the dating stuff, and how she felt about Ashley, kind of spilling the beans on that. And I guess this is where Karen decided to tell her that Mia said that she was born from the car ride. So she like, really? I didn't think I was born. I just think the girls just think that, maybe I'm a little, I'm a little different. I'm, pretty professional lady. She's QVC. She's like reporter voice, and, like she's nice. Like, she doesn't, be backstabbing each other, the girls, at least not right now. So, so she's like, I don't really care if they think I'm boring. It's just, I'm being me. So whatever. So on this little boat ride that Mia sets up, they go on the lake, get to check out the scenery, just enjoy each other, just really talking, and everybody kind of got their own conversations going on. In the back, I think it was Kay with Stacy, maybe Jazzy. I'm not sure who was else. Maybe it was just them three. And, Kay starts to tell us that she was pressing charges on Deborah, Miss Debbie Muppet, the, girl. And, and she just wasn't accepting Ashley's apology that she did at the reunion. And I think we'll get there when we get there, because, I think this is the start of the build-up between their little confrontation, because Ashley does kind of hear her name, and she was like, girl, don't be telling people. Oh, no. Wait, she hears her name when Stacy starts to mention Ashley on this, because she's like, yeah, Ashley did something to me that I wasn't too happy about, which was mention my dating situation instead of letting me put it out there. So with that, Ashley hears her name, and she was like, well, don't be trying to tell people that I messed up your stuff, Stacy, because that was not what I was trying to do. Whoop-de-whoop-de-whoop. And eventually we do get this little sit down and talk, and they work it out pretty much. Like, Ashley was trying to say she wasn't being messy, even though she was. And Stacy was like, well, I'm sorry for assuming you was being messy. I was just, I didn't think that as a friend, that was just something that you would do to me. So I felt that, it was a little backstabbish, and, I didn't like that. And Ashley was like, okay, so we can move on from here and be cool. So they move on from there and be cool. And also in this, Ashley, because I forgot I wrote, Stacy didn't appreciate Ashley's bunion on the kitchen counter. Because, yes, last weekend when Karen was telling her to take them receipts back to go and get her feet fixed, Ashley took her foot out and put it up on the dang counter, like the kitchen counter. And, the face was there, but she didn't say anything. So this was her time to say, like, girl, I ain't appreciate you. Look, not only I ain't appreciate you talking about my stuff without me telling people about my stuff. Don't be putting your feet up on your bunions up on my counter. My marble at that. Yeah, and really the whole purpose of Stacy being upset too was because the marriage wasn't actually divorced just yet. So it's like I don't want to be saying that I'm technically uh, involved with this man because we're not boyfriend girlfriend or nothing just yet until this divorce is finalized. So whatever. Like I said, they worked it out. We go over to Mia and Gordon. They kind of flipping their conversation a little bit. And Mia was just trying to tell them about, this triangle with her and Ink and Gordon, how Gordon is just still entangled in everything. And it's just like, they got to help him with the meds and make sure he's doing things right and this and that. And I'm like, I don't know. Like, I don't know. Like, I mean, it's an entanglement. He's there. They're not divorced yet. It doesn't look like they're on the way to divorce. So I think Mia, instead of complaining about it, really, you just need to accept this, what you got going on. You got your husband, you got your boyfriend, you got your kids, and y'all all a happy family at this point. Oh yeah, and then Mia does, or not Mia, but I think Karen brings up Stacy brings it up, like, Giselle, were you the one that said I was stiff? And nope, Karen was like, no, that was Mia. Mia was like, yeah. Well, it was a collective thing. It wasn't Mia that just said it. It was like a consensus within the group that she was just a little boring or just a little quiet or just a little not maybe TV ready. I don't know. But like I said, she's just nice and she just got here, so let her cook. You know what I'm saying? We see she gets there in her ground. When she don't like nothing, she do speak up. So we'll see where it goes. You know what I'm saying? I think I like her. Like, you know what I'm saying? We don't need somebody who's just we do not need another Ashley. We do not need another Candace. We don't need another Giselle. Like, we don't need another Robin. Like, we something fresh, something new. So this is what we need. I like Stacy. I like it. And I think the word was actually used was uninteresting. But anywho, we fast forward back to the house where we get to have dinner. She has these fancy little drinks with everybody's names on them. Or not everybody's name on them, but it was, like little names here and there. What was the one? Potomac proper, something, but it had to do, with like the houses and whatever situation. But, it's always a joke to something in the end. I just forgot about everything. But I remember the Potomac proper one. Okay, so before Giselle leaves, we have this sit down. And she kind of just says, like, she just didn't appreciate the way Karen handled that little party situation because, with Giselle's fundraiser, which it was more for her father passing versus Karen's, which was just some random award that you just got, right? So Karen, of course, just says, well, I did give the ladies options. They could have did one or the other, or they actually could have did both. And she wasn't responsible for how the ladies responded and did and how it all turned out. So, basically that means that Karen technically wasn't sorry because I didn't hear those actual words to say that you was sorry about that and that you didn't basically that you didn't sabotage her and all that good stuff could we say on purpose or what? Do y'all think she did it on purpose? Was it intentional? I would say it was intentional. So that's the thing, Karen. Don't nobody believe you that you didn't just all of a sudden want to invite the girls and leave Giselle hanging. So you did that on purpose because you was mad at her, especially after that little attitude party, because you thought it was a setup. So you was just getting back at her. And they just kind of both to agree that they just need to have better communication with each other and just, try to respect each other. And that's kind of where they end on that. And Giselle got to go. She got to go back home because something with the girls, do something with them, capping gowns or something, and then she'll be right back. So at dinner, a couple of Mia's friends arrive. This is Lake Norman, by the way. I totally forgot to mention that they're at Lake Norman, North Carolina. And she lets them, like just to get to know her a little bit better, tell them a little fun story about how y'all know me or how y'all met me or whatever. The first one was saying that, something, the story about how Ink was sucking on her toes when they was on vacation at some point or sometime. Another one was saying how, she goes way back to where she was actually helping or in the wedding to Gordon. So with all this little talk, here goes Jacqueline. Oh, but remember, I was there. I've known her since, Payless days, okay? And everybody's looking like, Jacqueline, nobody asked you nothing. We trying to talk to these ladies, girl. Like, you know what I'm saying? That goes back to, so is you trying to be up her ass? Is you not? Because you acting like you is. So, girl, fix it. Fix it. You can't help yourself at this point. I don't know, girl. She need to stop. She need to stop. And this is kind of where we end off a little bit on the to be continued, where, Mia's like, well, speaking of stories, how, me, Karen, and Joy hung out before. Karen has met Joy before. And, once Karen left, she accidentally butt dialed us. And I don't think you remember this, Karen, but Joy looked like, oh, yeah, I remember. And she was like, yeah, do you remember what you said? And Karen was like, I don't remember what I said. What I say? And she said, in quotes, these girls think I'm with Ray. And I'm like, what? And that's where it kind of goes, dun, 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 to be continued. So it was like, you and Ray is divorced, or you and Ray is separated, or you and Ray is what? And we kind of figured that since he's, on the, the bucket side of life, that she might be, looking elsewhere or whatever, but we don't know. That was the episode. So I'm going to talk to y'all later. We'll get to the next one and see how she lie about this one. But just so y'all know, Wendy, she ain't care about nothing but herself. It's her birthday weekend, and she didn't care about what anybody was talking about. She was very, very selfish, and I would be too, because guess what? It's my birthday. It's my birthday. I ain't got to fight with you. I ain't got to fight with you. I ain't got to fight with you. I just got to look good for my birthday. So that was it. We'll get to the next episode and see what Ray gonna do. We'll see what Ray gonna do. See what Karen gonna do. And talk to y'all later.